John. And these trainings have been life transforming for a lot of us. And for those of you who are like new to Knolly Success Coaching, go check out the YouTube channel and go check out some of our previous trainings, because there are some profound teachings to up-level your mindset, your emotional mastery, your business mastery. We work with the 4 bodies: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And it's you got to have all these bodies finely tuned and working in harmony in service to God to help your business thrive. And one of the things to know about your human body is that you're wired for survival. Thriving is a choice. This is why the path of entrepreneurship is so arduous sometimes, or so tricky, because our human body, our central nervous system, is wired for 2 things: sex and survival. And that's it. So choosing to build your dreams, choosing to build businesses, choosing to grow teams, none of that's intuitive or natural to our biology. We need mentoring. We need systems. We need a mentor, a system, and a community like Knolly's bringing to us, so that we can move from surviving to thriving. And it's always a choice. You can stay where you're at and settle for where your life is at, or you can find a mentor, find a system that you resonate with, that's aligned with you, and thrive. And then you're going to keep choosing that every day. Ron knows what I'm talking about. So
No doubt,
take it
no
away,
doubt.
Knolly.
Hey, so thank you guys. Thank you, Artemis. I gotta send a big shout out to Artemis, because last time I was on here, now last week we took a little bit of a break. I had a gentleman that I partnered with, and I helped him launch a amazing product. So we've got that all out, and he shared with us last week on Facebook marketing and advertising. But before that, we had a beautiful call. Artemis had a phenomenal training. And there was some comments that I made on the training, and Artemis called me out on it, which I really appreciate. I was talking about, I said, man, they're not ready for this. I don't think they're ready for this. And there was a couple, see, Artemis is trained in not only the art of language, but also in body language. So he can look at a certain way that you might scratch or turn your head. Every single thing means something. And so it was time for an upgrade. So Artemis and I met a couple, was it last week, Artemis, that we met?
Last Thursday, I think.
Yeah, last Thursday, and he was able to help me clear some things which were phenomenal. I mean, I tell you, Artemis, I've been unbridled since that session. I thank you and I honor you and I appreciate you for being in my life. But some things came up during that session about my childhood, and just when you thought that or just when the ego, or when you look to the ego and it says, "Hey, man, you're good, everything's good," you find another layer, another level, new devil. You find another level to unravel, and so we were able to tap into the little boy. See, all of us are children. We're all 3-year-olds, okay? And especially at the subconscious level, we all are still 3 years old. And there was a little boy that Artemis and I discovered was begging for mommy's approval, wanted mommy to approve of him. And Artemis really got me to see the love that you guys, I've already known this, but he really got me to see it, the love that each of you have for me and for each other. And so I thank you. I thank you guys I thank John for being the president of my fan club. Oh, what's up? And it is really an honor. I thank you guys for spending your time with me today. So today, and thank you, Artemis. I appreciate that. If any of you want to have a breakthrough like I did, it's artemisprime.com. I mean, it's that easy. Yeah, it's artemisprime.com. I mean, this man is changing lives. When we start to come to your city, yeah, we're going to be in Atlanta. We're going to be all over the place when we're allowed to. Okay, when they take the fetters off of us, and when we come out, you're going to be able to see Artemis work his magic in person, where it's just phenomenal. But until then, and many of you, I always tell people, hey, you may not ever see me live, but you can reach me this way. So check him out, because he is life changing. So thank you, Artemis. I really appreciate it. I wanted to acknowledge that before I kicked off. So Artemis and I both practice multiple streams of income. And I'm just going to tell you my story, and then I'm going to let you guys chime in. I want to make this as interactive as possible. I'm going to ask you questions. I do have my chat open. So I have 5 bank accounts. Okay. Now, what I share with you guys is not to impress you. Okay. You guys cannot be impressed with Uncle Knolly. What I want you to do is I want you to just open your mind, just open your concept to new things. Okay, so some of you that are maybe beyond where what we're teaching, you're going to help pay it forward by teaching others the things that you know. And those of you that are not quite yet, or you haven't really heard some of these things, that's fine. Write them down, ponder them, think on them, go back and watch this video very often. So I've got 5 bank accounts. Now, the reason I have 5 bank accounts is I've got one bank account. I have 3 companies, 3 main activities that I do. Okay. Now, today we're going to look at 5 different streams of income, but I have 3 main activities. Number one, one activity that I do is my teaching and training and coaching. Okay. So that's where it's Knolly Training. That's one company. The other company I have is called More Souls. I own a software company. It's a real estate software CRM called More Souls, MORESOLDS. So I have a bank account for that one. And then I do real estate. Okay. I'm a real estate broker. Yes, I am always recruiting. I'm always out there trying to attract people, not necessarily really recruiting, but trying to attract people to my tribe, because Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice. And so I've got to constantly put that voice out there so that those that will hear won't be most, and it won't be maybe even many, but Artemis and I are building a congregation of 40,000 real estate agents from all over the world. Okay, we're doing that over the next 10 years. These agents are already out there or not yet licensed. And so, yes, we're putting the sounding alarm out there because we have to. And just like my wife and I were on a walk this morning, and the deer would start to make these noises, and the mama deer would make this noise, and sure enough, the fawn would know the mom's voice. So when Uncle Knolly's out there, or when Cousin Artemis is out there, Artemis Prime, we start to talk. You guys are like, man, I like the way that guy's talking. Or, you know what some people do? That it repels. You know, some people are attracted, some people are repelled. Either way is okay. But we're building a tribe of 40,000. So yeah, I have a real estate business. So that's 3 businesses right there. Then I have a personal account, and then I have an account for God. Okay, I have God's account. That's weird. We won't even talk about that today, but I've got one for God. Just for me, it's easier to put God's money in his account than he tells me how he wants me to spend it. So I've got 5 bank accounts. Now, I've always had multiple streams of income. And I don't know if that's something that it may just be I don't know. I enjoy making money. Okay. I actually love making money. I had a whole video that I just shot recently, put out on YouTube, called Jesus and Money. Jesus and Money. So if you didn't have a chance to watch that, go watch it. It's interesting. So that's the 5 bank accounts and the multiple streams. Since about the age of 13 years old, I've had multiple streams of income. Now, many of you are entrepreneurs, so you can relate to what I'm putting down here. You can relate to what I'm saying. I would, I mowed grass for a little while, quickly figured out I didn't like doing that, and the money wasn't good enough. I sold newspapers, sold candy in school. Okay, I was the candy man. Sold other things that I ought not have sold. Okay, so I did a lot of different things as a youth from about 13 to 18. Started my first company when I was 23 years old, and that was in the music industry. Okay, and even then I had multiple ways of generating income. Okay, and so now I've got 5 main ways, and I'm going to share those with you today. 5 different revenue streams. And when you learn this, really the purpose of you learning this is not so you can go out and do a lot of this stuff right away. It's just so that you know that the possibility is out there. Okay. And many of you have asked me to teach this, so this is what I'm bringing to you. So what I want to do, let's open up. I've got the PowerPoint ready. The possibility is out there. Okay. And many of you have asked me to teach this, so this is what I'm bringing to you. All right. We're live on YouTube, so let me turn that off. I've got the PowerPoint ready. All right, YouTube. All right, so that always happens. All right, so back to this full screen. This one. All right, so where am I at here? Hold on. Let me go back to the front. I'm giving away my thunder here. No, I can't do that. Okay, so this is what we're going to learn today: multiple streams of income. I'm actually going to turn off the chat for now, but if you do have
wait a minute. Where's your new headshot?
Oh, there we go. I knew you were going to say that.
Nolly got professional photos from our #1 rated headshot photographer in America, Nico, at the professionalheadshot.com, and you had not given us your new headshot.
Yeah, you guys got to see these, man. This guy is off the chain,
I
man.
want to see your new pick. You know, it's all about the star. Nolly is
I,
the
you
star of
know,
the show.
we had so many photos that I did not pick. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can just show you guys this because this is all right now. So literally, what actually happened was that Josie was the one. Oh, these are the retouch ones. So I'm gonna see if they. Can you guys see that a little bit? Can y'all
Man,
see
that's
that?
beautiful.
Isn't that something? Yeah, man. That is. Hold on, it's back to okay. So Josie and I wanted to take. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to do a business card with both of us on it because my wife just got a real estate license, and I am so super doggone proud of her. But Nico, you won't believe this, Artemis, but he took about 170 photos.
Nice.
Yeah, but well, I mean, his setup is phenomenal. So
And I love that you're getting a business card with both of you because now the world gets to see Josie and the team that you've always been. And we got it, we want to get people, we want to get here and known
oh,
and understood too.
no doubt, no doubt. I met Josie when I was like 20 years old, and we got married. I'm 50 now, so we've been together. We've been married 28 years, and so now that she's a realtor, we could cut it up together. Of course, I'm going to put like a cruise ship or like a Bahamas background or something behind there, just to kind of show you what my real activity is. That's my real job, traveling, guys. You guys already know. All right, so yeah, so I knew you were gonna call me out on that, but that's all right. That's all right. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So multiple streams of income. Yeah, that's what we want. So just a reminder for those of you that are not yet part of Knolly Success Coaching, it is absolutely free. Okay. Weekly group coaching call with me and Artemis, members only Facebook group. You got a library of coaching trainings, exclusive accountability partner, and live event training series. This is the same program. Like I said, we originally, I wanted to price it for 400 a month. Then I was like 100 a month. And then I called Artemis. I was like, man, I feel like the Holy Spirit is telling me to drop it for free. And Artemis said, I'm all in. Let's do it for free. Let's not get paid because God will, reward us for our faithfulness. So this is what it is. It's Christ-centered coaching. You can join for free at Knolly.com. If you're not already a member, make sure that you join at Knolly.com. Now, every single week, Artemis and I, just about every week, we do this about 40 times a year. So we call it weekly coaching, but we do take a couple of weeks off here and there. So we bring you about 40 group coaching calls every single year. And it's a Zoom call, just like this one. What I'm going to teach you today is part of a body of training that I like to do called Millionaire Success Secrets. Millionaire Success Secrets. Now, these are the secrets, okay, as Kevin Trudeau would say, that they don't want you to know about. You say, well, Nolly, who's they? Well, anyone that is, and I would just say the system, the system, those that would have you to continue in poverty, those that would have you to continue in slavery, yes, slavery, those that would have you to continue not knowing what your true and divine destiny is upon the earth. And that is a group of families and individuals and real people. Oh, Nolly, that's conspiracy. No, it's true that when you go back and do the due diligence, okay, and we'll do studies on that later. But these are millionaire success secrets that they don't want you to know about. Now, I want to read this scripture because I think it's very, very, very enlightening. Ecclesiastes 11, verse 1 says, send your grain across the seas, and in time, profits will what? They will flow back to you in time. But divide your investments among many places, for you do not know what risks may lie ahead. Okay. And I see a lot of people that are not diversified. They've got all their money in one basket, or they've rented themselves out by the hour. Nothing wrong with that if that's your game. Okay. But just realize what you're doing and come up with an exit strategy to move away from that. So many people have rented themselves out by the hour, and they've quickly found that, wait a minute, my services are no longer needed. Why? Because we've got this time that we're in right now, COVID. For those of you watching this 5 years later, yeah, we're right in the middle of COVID-19. And many people have been told, hey, your services are no longer needed. for the time being. So they found out. So it says you don't know what risks might lie ahead. Verse 3 says, when clouds are heavy, the rains come down. Whether a tree falls north or south, it stays where it falls. Let the chips fall where they may. Okay. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. Now, I see a lot of people out there, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business leaders, a lot of real estate agents that are waiting for perfect weather. Knolly, I'm going to get to it next week. I'm going to get to it next time. I'll do it next season. I like that strategy you came up with, and one day I'll implement it. Well, verse 4 says, farmers wait for perfect weather, who wait for perfect weather never plant. Okay. And what happens when you never plant? You never sow. You never reap a harvest. You never have an abundance. You never have a crop. Okay. If you watch every cloud, they never, if they watch every cloud, they never harvest. Verse 5 says, just as you cannot understand the path of the wind or the mystery of a tiny baby growing in its mother's womb, so you cannot understand the activity of God who does all things. Now, one thing that Artemis and I want you guys to understand is that there are mysteries in this realm. There are mysteries in this universe, and they do not have to be mysteries to you. You can know things, okay? But you've got a purpose in your heart to know them. Stop playing safe. Stop trying to be safe. The ego wants to keep you safe. Oh, I'm going to keep him from harm. But what you've got to do and be willing to do, or what you want to at least open up your consciousness toward doing, is, hey, I want to see what my life is about and why I'm really here. I want to experience the fullness of why I'm in this realm. Okay. Now, verse 6 says, plant your seed in the morning and keep busy all afternoon, for you don't know if profit will come from one activity or another, or maybe both. Guys, we are talking about multiple streams of income. In scripture, it says, divide your investments, verse 2, among many places. And then in verse 6, again, it says, plant your seed in the morning. What's that? That's you do the 2 hours of lead generation every morning. You plant your seed in the morning and you keep busy all afternoon. What's that? That's when you go out on the appointments that are created from the seed that you planted in the morning. Guys, this is how it works. There are rules to this realm, and when you learn and unlock the rules to this realm, guess what happens? Your life is a success. Absolutely a success and not a failure. Now, Artemis asked me to throw this in because it's very important. I actually didn't throw this in, just put it in this morning, but we want to talk about the Wealth Lighthouse. This is something that was invented, created by Roger Hamilton, one of our mentors, one of Artemis and I, many mentors that we study under. And we are fully aware that there are different people listening to this training, okay, that are on this masterclass that are at different levels. Okay. And the levels go from infrared all the way up to ultraviolet. Infrared is you're a victim. Red is a survivor. Orange is a worker. Now, what I'm going to share with you today is really for those who are at the yellow and green level, and maybe even beyond. Okay. But those at the yellow and green level, I am fully aware that many of you listening to me right now, or that we're sharing this time together, are not at that level yet. But that's okay. I want to give you a glimpse of what the future holds and what is the possibility, okay, for you. If you don't already have the book, The Millionaire Master Plan, we highly, highly recommend it. Most of the architecture for what we teach, at least as it relates to the personality profile and the trajectory of your success, comes from Roger Hamilton's work, okay? So he's a brilliant, brilliant man. And one of these days, Artemis will actually be teaching us on the Wealth Lighthouse and showing you, because depending on where you are in this lighthouse will actually tell you what your trajectory is in this realm. Like where you are now, like if you're at infrared, there are things that you ought to do that you would not do if you were at yellow level. Okay. So this is a free test. You already know that we have this free test out there in one of the units, absolutely free. You click on it, you can take this test to see where you are in the Wealth Lighthouse.
Unit number 5.
Unit number 5. Okay. Thank you, Artemis. We appreciate you for putting all that stuff together for us too. So as you know, you guys already know this, in Robert Kiyosaki's work, he talks about this whole thing in cash flow quadrant about the trajectory, the ESBI, how we move from one place to another. So, and just identify where you are in this. You start off as an employee. That's where you have a job. Okay. Now, less people have jobs today with everything going on in the world than were before. And the reality is, okay, Dale did a study. Dale, the Michael Dale had a bunch of very smart people from all over the world come in, do a study, and they determined that over 80% of the jobs that currently exist will no longer exist in the new economy. Okay, I'm impressed to just take this off for a minute and share this with you. Over 80% of the current jobs will be displaced over the next 20 years. And what they further discovered in this study was that they don't even know what the new jobs will be. See, really, we don't know what the future holds, guys. We know who holds the future, but we don't know what the future holds. And what you have to be, this is the time, like right now, right today, this is the time for you to bone up on your skill set. See, Artemis and I, and you guys as well, that are doing this, are absolutely indispensable to the new economy. See, the old economy, if you really study your history, and you've read books like Whatever Happened to Penny Candy by this is an economist, Richard Mayberry. He talks about this current system, which is really the system that we're on, the paradigm of going to work for someone else, okay, going to school, getting a degree, going to work for someone else, and riding that out for 30 years, getting a gold watch, retiring on a pension is a bye-bye, long gone, dinosauric concept. It no longer exists. But in our realm, we still act as if it does. That particular concept went out around 1977. Okay. It was ushered in very early on with the Industrial Revolution. But if you go back in history, you'll know that early on, before the Industrial Revolution, there were only two kinds of workers on the planet. Okay. Only two: those that were self-employed and those that worked for the government. That was really that was like 90+% of the population. You either owned a farm, okay, and farms were about 80-90% of those that were employed had their own farm. They raised chickens, goats, cows, pigs, whatever, or they had some kind of crop, okay. So they either owned a farm or they worked for the government. They worked for a baron or a Dutch, or they worked for a duke or a king, or the prince or the emperor or somebody in that, maybe they worked for the military, the army, or whatever it was of that, in Rome or whatever. When you go back and study empires of this realm, okay, you'll understand. Now, when the Industrial Revolution came around, a third type of kind of hybrid kind of person came around, and that's called the worker, the employee. Okay, that is an outdated concept. And when you become an employee, nothing wrong with it. That's what you're being called to do. Because there are many people, like Jesus said, the poor you will have with you always. Okay, but I made a choice that I wasn't going to be one of them. Okay, and you can make that choice as well. So just wanted to share with you guys that is the real paradigm. So employee is where you have a job. That's E. Then you go to self-employed. That's where you own a job. Okay. Neither of those is where you really want to be, but it's just a trajectory, guys. An employee is a stepping stone to becoming a self-employed. You own a job, but then you move over to B. Okay. That's where you're a business owner and you own a system that works for you. That's where you want to be. Okay. That's where you can have fun and play. See, God did not design this life for you to be struggling and scrimping and scraping to get by and make a meager existence on the planet until you die. That is the enemy's plan for you, but it is not God's plan for your welfare. God loves you too much for that to be his plan for your life. Okay. So B is where you own a system that works for you. And I is when you become an investor. Okay. Now, in reality, most of us play in all four of these vectors, but we understand where we're playing. We are not a victim of the game. We play the game. The game doesn't control us. Okay. Money, it's a terrible thing in the heart, but a wonderful thing in the hand. Okay. So money doesn't own us. We own money. We use money. Money doesn't use us. We use money. right? Money is not our master. We master it. Okay. And so what you want to do is you want to play as much as possible in the B and play as little as possible in the E and S. But in reality, Artemis and I are both, we play in all four quadrants. Okay. Yes, I'm an employee in some cases. Okay. Even right now today, I'm employed by some people. If you hire me as a coach, I work for you. If you hire me to list your house, I work for you. Okay. Now, at the same time, I'm self-employed. Why? Because I'm a 1099. I own my own business. But then I also own several businesses and I invest. Okay. I invest my money. Typically, I'll invest in other businesses. People invest in real estate, stock, whatever you want to invest in. Okay. Now, let's look at these 5 different streams of income. And then I want to hear from you guys. And I'm going to be asking you a couple questions that I have along the way as well. So number 1, ongoing revenue from your current business or businesses. Okay, as it is the case with many of you on this call. So this is, if people are like, well, why you put this in? Duh, we know that that's a stream of revenue. Well, yeah, of course, but this is primary, numero uno, number 1 source of income is your current business, the business that you own right now. That's going to be your number 1 focus. And the reason I put this here is because most people have not maximized, okay? They have not maximized their current business. Knolly, I want to make some recurring streams of income. I want to make some more money over here. What are you doing with what God already put in your hand? What are you doing with that 1 talent, that 5 talents, that 10 talents that he's already given you? What are you doing with them? I can tell you, most of my students are squandering them, or they're not monopolizing, okay? Or they're not taking full advantage, all right? They're not utilizing, all right, the full advantage of the business that they currently have. How do I know that? Because they're not succeeding. See, when I got in the music business, okay, I wanted to be top, right? I wanted to be top. And those of you remember we did this study, and that is, by the way, nobody benefits from you being small. Okay, you don't benefit from it. God doesn't benefit from it. Your fellow neighbors don't benefit from it. Your family gets no benefit out of it. Okay, nobody gets any benefit out of you playing small. When you came up in this realm, you showed up. You came here. Do you realize that when you came here, you beat out millions upon millions upon millions upon millions? Let me just put it this way. You beat out 1 billion. Okay. You not 1 in a million, baby. You're 1 in 1 billion. One day I'm going to share that study with you of how conception, we might want to tag that one for the more mature age, but how conception takes place, that there are over 1 billion sperm cells that come out. I'm just going to say it. In every male ejaculate has over 1 billion sperm cells. Let me just share this with you guys. Okay, we're not talking nothing funny. We're talking truth here, and so I want to share this with you guys because this is. I want some people to wake up, and those of you that are already awake. Okay, I want you to be even more wide awake. Okay, so now listen to this for a second, and you can write this down. You can go fact check Uncle Knolly. Now, here's a fact: every male will produce about 525 billion sperm cells over their lifetime. Okay. You shed about 1 billion sperm cells every single month. 1 billion. You think God is playing small? Okay. When Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, you think they just had a basket of fruit? They had abundance, far more than they could ever enjoy. Okay. Now, the healthy adult male can release, listen to this, anywhere between 40 million and 1.2 billion sperm cells in a single ejaculate. Okay. In one single, we grown-ups here, 40 million to 1.2 billion on a single. Okay. That's 40 million to 1 billion possibilities for life. Okay. Now, when that sperm comes up the fallopian tube, okay, and then it connects into that egg, what happens is the egg has like a casing around it that's acidic. So the first sperm cells that hit that egg, you know what they do? They die. As soon as they come in contact with it, they just burn. But what the sperm cells are smart. What they do is they keep attacking that same point until one of them finally makes it in. Now listen to this. You got 40 million to to over 1 billion sperm cells competing for what? For what? What are they competing for? For the opportunity to be you. That's what they're competing for. Okay. This is something that we don't want to squander, guys. It's not light-lived. And those of you that have a business, okay, is the full potentiality of your business being reached? What do I mean by that? Okay, number one, are you doing the 2 hours every day? Uncle Knolly always comes back. It's always like a boomerang, come back to the same old thing. Now, are you doing the 2 every single day, lead generation every single day in your business? 2 hours, okay, 2 hours every single morning. Are you generating more business? Oh, I got enough business. Who told you that? Okay. Don't ever allow your business to become as big as it wants to get. Now, are you following the 3 buckets? No matter what business you're a massage therapist, an esthetician, you might be a plumber, you might be a real estate agent, doesn't matter. Okay. A business person, doesn't matter. Businessman, doesn't matter. You should be doing your sphere of influence, working with them, those that God has given you within your power, okay, and working it well. Are you working it to its full degree? I guarantee you the majority of the people that I coach, I could step into their business and I could generate tons of more business than they currently have. Yet they're ready to move on to the next thing. Knolly, I've already maximized my success. You ain't maximized nothing, okay? When I got into the music business, I wanted to be top, okay? So I studied the game. When I started with Diamante Music Group, you know what? They barely signed me as a record label. Why? Because I wasn't proven. So they had 42 record labels, 42. Okay, I was number 42 when I came on based on sales. Guess where I was in 3 years? Number 1, baby. I was the most top producing record label of all 42 of them. That's when EMI Capital came knocking. It's like, hey, boy, what you doing? I said, I'm doing it. You know what I'm doing? I'm maximizing my potentiality. I'm maximizing my success. So I got signed to EMI Capital. That's the year when I made $2 million. Why? Because they gave me a bunch of money to sign on with them, and I made a lot of money that year. Now, here's the point I want you to understand, okay? We had the number 1 Christian rap label in the world. You think I was trying to play small? Yeah, it was a small market. It was a niche of a niche. But guess what? I dominated in that niche. You remember when we studied this, the power of your subconscious mind. Remember, we talked about the 3 steps of success. Okay, what are they? The good students, right? Number 1, the first step is to do the thing you love. Okay, I love rap hip hop, so I got into that. Number 2, what's number 2? The second step is to specialize in some particular branch of work and know more about it than anybody else. Have you done that with your business? Is your game tight? Do you know more about it than anybody else? That's people call me, they say, man, Knolly's a walking encyclopedia. I guarantee you I am. If I want to know something about something, that's what I become. I already know the trajectory. I know the goal. I know where I'm headed. Okay. So I learn, I bone up. I know. Okay. I know stuff. So I know things. All right. So, and then step 3 is that your desire cannot be for yourself alone. It cannot be selfish. Whatever you have put your hand to do has to be for the benefit of humanity, not just for your own personal bank account. Okay. That's not the way God operates. So that's what I did, became top, right? Then when I got to Remax, okay, became one of the top 10 in the state. Then Gary Keller, met with him. He recruited me over to Keller Williams. Okay. So then what did I do? I became one of the top 100 in the world for Keller Williams. Okay. And then I became one of the top trainers in the country. Then what happened? I went to EXP. What am I doing at EXP? Becoming number 1, baby. Right now, I'm number 5 in my organization as far as people that have brought people on. And I won't see. And it's not about being competitive. See, you only have one person that you're competing with, and that's you. You have no competition. Okay, it's just like a golf match. I don't play golf. Not going to swear that I do, but I'm going to tell you something. You are competing against yourself. There is no competition out there. Okay. God has more. I'm not God's only child. I realize that. God has a lot of mouths to feed, but I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get my unfair share. Right. So are you doing the 2, and are you following the 3 lead buckets? Your sphere of influence, your farm, and do you have a rockin' niche? Most people that have told me, man, I've already maximized my business, you know what? They haven't even backed the car out of the driveway. talking about you in fifth gear. You ain't in no fifth gear. You're not even you're not even on the highway, right? So that's number one, is your own business. Okay. So don't stop with your own business, guys, until you have maximized the success therein. Okay. There's a lot more success for you. Now, number two, once you have mastered the game, teach other people, help other people. Okay. So one of my streams of income is what I call a coaching funnel. Okay. A coaching funnel. That's where you basically have a system whereby you teach other people the things that you've learned. Now, coaching is, when I was 8 months in the business, I hired my first coach. Okay. And I paid $1,000 a month. And Artemis is a coach that we have, at Quantum 10X. And then I just brought on another coach, Hollis Dean. Now, Hollis used to run my business. Okay. Back in the day, when I went what we call seventh level, okay, when I started owning a business versus working in my business, Hollis ran that company for about 3 or 4 years when we were doing 130, 140, 150 deals a year. Hollis was the one, and I was working about 3 hours a week. He was the one behind. He was like the wizard behind the curtain. Okay, that he was the one making it happen. So here's the thing that I want you to think about. No matter what industry you're in, can you pay it forward by teaching what you have learned to other people? Can you pay it forward? Okay, you ought to be doing that. Whether you do it for free, like Artemis and I do with this group coaching, or you do it for profit. Now, the cool thing about whether it be Artemis or let's say Hollis he's going to be able to make $20,000 a month, okay, or $10,000 a month, whichever one he chooses. And if he's doing 10,000 a month, he only has to have 10 students, okay. It's $1,000 a month for coaching. So he only has to have 10 students. What does that mean? That means he only has to spend 5 hours a week to make $10,000 a month. 5 hours, guys. Okay. But now he's helping his clients to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's worth every penny. So the second stream of income that I just want to share with you is a coaching funnel. When you have mastered the game, when you've done everything that you can do in your own practice, start helping others and charge them for the help. They'll be willing to pay you for it. Now, this third funnel that I love is a product sales funnel. Okay. One day, and I've already dedicated myself to teach you guys this, I'm going to spend a whole class where I teach you how I was earning $70,000 a month from this funnel alone. Okay. The only reason I stepped away from it was because of number 4, which I'm going to share with you in a minute. I completely stepped away from now I still have product sales funnels. Okay. And they still generate me about $1,000 a day is what I hope to generate from those. Okay. But it's nothing like what I was making. Okay. And actually, truthfully, right now it's about $500 to $1,000 a day because I'm not really focused on it. I did a video on how I made my first 500,000 using ClickFunnels. Took me, I think, 18 months to make it. And I share that. It's a YouTube video. You can go watch it. But you help others by creating and offering a training solution. Okay, you've perfected. Now, this is if you see the way this goes. First, you perfect what you have done. What you have, your own business. Then you start teaching other people. Then you create a product that teaches them, that helps them. Okay, I helped Bryant Matus because he had been working for many months on a product, and it had been helping my coaching students. So I helped him launch his product last week. Did phenomenally. Okay, 5-figure launch, and it did really phenomenally. And he's going to be helping a ton of people make a ton of money. Okay, a ton of deals. So a sales funnel around that, a product. I've got a lot of key products that I put out. I can answer questions around this, but I just want you guys to see the overall overarching picture on this. Number 4, revenue share. Woo. Now this has become the golden goose for me. This is where I'm pretty much hedging my bets and actually hanging my hat. Okay, I don't hang my hat a lot of places, guys. I don't take off my boots a lot of places. But this right here, I've pretty much parked it right here at number 4. That's where I am right now, revenue share. That's residual income from a product or service. Okay. Now there's many residual income type opportunities out there. I found mine at EXP. Okay. I'm loving every minute of it. I'm building a group. We're going to have about 40,000 agents from around the world. That's how I'm doing it. You do it your way. I'm just sharing with you what Uncle Knolly's doing because I've made a commitment, okay, to share with you guys everything that I know. And I know Artemis has made the same commitment. We made a pledge to share with you everything that we do so that you can experience success. And by the way, you don't have to do what I'm doing. Let me say it again. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I just want you to know what I'm doing, okay, so that it'll open your mind to other possibilities. Now, revenue share, the reason why I'm so excited about this is because right now, my revenue share, I've been with the company for 18 months, and my revenue share is about, in other words, I'm making in monthly recurring revenue about what I would earn, okay, if I had about 2 million in the bank right now, earning residual income from it. Okay. So I'm actually, there's nothing like it. So revenue share is my fourth big piece. And by the way, let me share with you, I think this would be important for you guys for me to share this with you. In the book.com Secrets, which I highly recommend, um, there's a chapter in here called continuity. Okay. It's funnel number 3 is continuity. I want you to write that word down. Continuity. Continuity. If you can't spell it, just look at the screen. You ain't gonna get me to try to spell it. Continuity. And continuity. Now, here's what Russell's mentor says. Okay. David Frey says this, and I wholeheartedly agree. If you don't have continuity, then you don't have a business. Let me say it again. If you don't have continuity, you don't have a business. Okay. Let me share with you the magic of continuity real quick because um, let me just share this. Well, I'll go back and share the magic of continuity. I just want to kind of. I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to see what questions you guys have. But I want to share with you the magic of continuity next because I think it'll be very important. So, number 5 is affiliate marketing. Okay, number 5 is affiliate marketing. So that's recurring income from an endorsed product or service. Now, hopefully, you can see the trajectory of this. So this is 5 different streams of income. I used to have 7 streams of income. At one time, I had 9 streams of income. But then it's back to Pareto's principle, right? That I teach you guys, the 80-20 rule. So I said, I've got 9 streams of income, or I got 10 streams of income, but which are the what amount of effort do I have to put out for the income that I receive? What can I cut, right? So I've got it down to these 5, and as I go back through them, I hope that you can see that first you've got to get your business right and tight. You've got to get it on point. And from that, people will want to learn, man, what in the world is this gal doing? What is this girl up to? I want to learn what you're doing. Oh, you want to learn what I'm doing? Well, I can help you. Okay, that's coaching. Then they say, then you get to the point where you got so many people that you can't even help them all, right? You got so many people. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Go ahead and share your screen. I don't think it's showing up yet.
It's not showing. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back because I was like, I wonder if they're seeing my screen here. Okay, so
there you go. Now it's popping up.
okay, good. So ongoing revenue share. Number 1, you get your business tight. That leads to people wanting you to teach them. That's a natural progression. People came to me. They're like, Knolly, could you teach me how you do that? I'm like, I guess I can. They were like, well, how do you do it? Then I had to figure out, well, crap, how do I do this? And I had to document it. And then I started coaching people. Then you get to a point, guess what? You got too many coaching clients. You're like, look, I can't be just coaching people all day. I mean, this is taking too much of my time. So then you create a product. And then you can serve the masses. Anybody can come buy your product. Hey, I got a 5-hour video series. It's $297. You don't actually have to pay Uncle Knolly thousands of dollars for me to sit there and tell you the same things on my videos, right? So now you move on to a product. Then guess what? You start saying, man, I want some revenue share. I want to start doing that. And then you become an affiliate marketer, okay? And you affiliate with products and services that you love, like ClickFunnels. I love ClickFunnels. So I'm an affiliate marketer for ClickFunnels, right? So, people that sign up to ClickFunnels using my link, I get paid every month residual income from that. Okay. So these are the multiple streams of income that I am currently, really, really using to the full degree in my own life, in my own experience, my own business. And I highly, highly recommend not that you guys get out there and start doing this, okay, but that you look at where you are in the trajectory of this, and whatever it is that your hands find to do it to the best of your ability, as scripture says. Okay. So don't just half-ass it. Oh, I'm just going to throw this out and I'm going to put this out. No, do not do that. Do it the way it should be done. Okay. And as scripture says, do it as unto the Lord. So when you do it as unto the Lord, it's right and tight. People tell me all the time, they're like, the reason why I have such a low refund percentage, people that buy my products, I know you're not going to return it. And if you do return it, you didn't use it. Because if you used it, you'd be rich and you wouldn't want to give it back. Right. So what I told you guys I was going to share the magic of continuity. I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to open it up to any chats and stuff like that, or any questions you guys have.
One little side note, Knolly, when you showed your .com secrets book, you had it highlighted, underlined, circled. I mean, that's time on task over time. See, what I love about Knolly is, as wise as he is in his experience, he's very teachable as well. And we talked about Teachability Index 2 classes ago. And when you look at the way Knolly read that book, that is a sign of someone who's very teachable, willing to learn, willing to accept change. I mean, you had it highlighted, underlined, and circled. And I remember when Knolly was first creating his first funnels, like 5 years ago, and I'd come over to his house, and I was his coach at the time, helping him transform his body and mind. And he's on his back porch, just reading .com secrets over and over and over and over and over again. And that's the sign of time on task over time. Like, I just want to bring that to our students' awareness is that you do what you teach. And that's why you're someone to listen to.
Yeah. See, the thing is, how do you live off camera? See, I live the same life off camera as I live on camera. And I'm not just saying this. See, this is a word I want you guys to write down: discipline. Write it down: discipline. Okay. See, when you look at the word discipline, what word do you see in there? I see the word disciple.
Disciple.
Disciple. Okay. Discipline, disciple. And so a disciple is see, you want to learn everything that the master knows, right? So when you have discipline, right, that's the reason why I've been faithful to my wife. Let me tell you something about discipline. When I was 16 years old, I was homeless. Okay, I was homeless. I didn't have a home to live in, okay, because I was a knucklehead, left home, and I was done. Artemis knows about this. I was done with my mom. I said, I'm out. So I left home and I went to stay with my friends. And so I was homeless for a couple of years. And I'm going to tell you something. That's what I call the land of anything goes. You name it, we did it. Okay, that's what we did, because it was a bunch of teenagers. We were all high school dropouts. The mom was hooked on crack cocaine. Okay, so nobody was watching anybody. And I'm talking about, it was chaos. Okay. Now, when I came to Jesus, I'm not talking about a come to Jesus moment. I came to Jesus when I was 18 years old. I was so disciplined, okay, that I decided that I was going to become celibate. I was going to become, I was not going to be sexually active. And so here's God's honest truth. You don't even know this, Artemis, but I did not kiss another girl. Okay, I'm 18 years old. Now, this God's honest truth. From the time I was 18, okay, to the time I was 22, I did not kiss another female. Okay. Now you talk about discipline. I'm not talking about I didn't have sex with them. I'm talking about I didn't kiss another woman except Josie. Okay. Because I had already determined in my heart that I knew when the woman that God sent, see, my whole life has been ordered. My steps, see, every one of you, it's the same thing. It's not just me. Your steps have been ordered by the Lord. And when you look, if you come out of fear, get your head out the news, stop looking at all the talking heads and what they're saying about what's going on. They don't know nothing. Okay. When you start to look and really see, you will see a hidden hand, just an unseen hand that's been guiding every single step of your life. Okay. And I was determined. I was so, and this is what we call discipline. This is the reason why I've never cheated on my wife. I've been faithful. I've had opportunities to do it, but I didn't. Why? Because I know what that can lead to. I'm like a dog on a bone. I got a mission in this world. And look here, when I leave this realm, okay, I don't know when it's going to be. It doesn't really matter. But when it happens, as I'm floating up, okay, as they say, I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to float up, meet Jesus in the air. As I'm floating up, as I look down, I will know in my heart that I didn't leave anything undone. I'll leave with a smile on my face. I'm gonna be like, ooh, it's time to go home, baby. I did it. And the reality is this: most people, when they come into this realm, they get amnesia. They forget why they're here. Okay. God said, I knew you before I created you in your mother's womb. Okay. I knew you. What does that word knew mean? Knew. It means it's the same word that's used in Genesis when it says Adam knew Eve. They had intimate relations. God intimately knew me. Now, I might have forgotten about it. I don't remember it. Okay. But guess what? I'm quickly remembering as quick as I can, right? And so discipline, most people lack the discipline. That's what I'm trying to get to. They lack the discipline to succeed. They lack the discipline to be successful. They lack the discipline just because they're making a million, they get into apathy. Oh, I'm already making a million. That's where I was when Artemis found me. I said, man, I'm good, dude. I'm making 700,000 a year. I don't need nothing. Remember when you consulted with Art? You remember that? I was making $70,000, $80,000 a month. I'm gonna share with you guys how I was doing it. Easiest job in the world, y'all. I'll share with you one of these. Just the whole episode is gonna be all about that. Anyway, because one of you guys is gonna do it, gonna become a millionaire from this one idea. Okay, so back to where we were. I told you I was going to show you the magic of continuity. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to type in here your monthly car payment. Those of you that have a car payment, just type it in. Average. What's your average monthly car payment? 466. All right. So let's take I got some nice cars up in here, boy. Look at that. I like this. Okay, so Nahid says 466. That's your now think about this. If you came up with a continuity product, okay, continuity. I need to do a whole class on this, but I'm just going to show you the magic of it. That was $97 a month. How many students would you have to have, Nahid? How many would you have to have or to be able to pay your car payment? Okay. At 46, you already know the math. I don't even have to spell it out to you. You only have to have 4.8 students. So you only have to have 5 people that are willing to pay you $100 a month to learn what you know. Your car payment's paid. Okay. Now somebody else said 235. You only have to have 2 people in your coaching group. You're done. Somebody said their car payment is 600. Artemis 600. So Artemis only had to have 6 people. Or look at this. If he charges $297 for a consultation, how many does he have to make his car payment? $297 per consultation. 2 people. Okay, that's the magic of continuity. And what continuity is, and those of you that are zero, that's cool. Kudos to you. You know, I'm debt free too. I paid off my house at age 45, paid my cars and everything off. I'm good with that. So, and that's the reason why when Artemis met me, I was like, man, I'm good. I don't have a car payment. I don't have a house payment. I'm done. I came to this realm. I did what I was supposed to do. Artemis said, man, you're in apathy. He shook me up and made me realize what sometimes when you're living good, it can kind of stifle your goals too. Uh, okay, so continuity is beautiful. Even if, let's take your mortgage payment. Let's say your mortgage payment is $3,200 a month. Okay, yeah, I want you to live good. $3,200 a month. So you come up with a program that people are willing to pay you $197 a month for. Okay, so divide that by 197. That means you only have to have 16 people in your program to pay your mortgage. That's the magic of continuity. I'll do a whole class on that. Artemis and I can teach for hours and hours on that alone. But what I wanted to share with you guys here was the multiple streams of income and how you don't have to be fettered or weighted down by just having one stream. You can have many. Now, what I want to do here, thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. Thank you, family, for showing up and hanging out with me for this hour, and Artemis for this hour. I do want to see if there's any comments for those of you that would love to stay after class. For those of you that that need to leave, class is dismissed. But for those of you that want to hang out for a few more minutes, are there any pressing things here, Artemis, that I need to address, or are we good?
No, we're good. I did post the quiz to the Wealth Lighthouse to kind of give people an understanding of where they are in their business development, not just who they are, but where they are. Because you don't want to put your attention on multiple streams of income when you're at infrared or red at all.
No, do not do this.
Do not do that. So like getting an assessment of where you are in your business development, and then understanding that if you are, below orange, this is not the time to build multiple streams. But once you get to an orange level, which is consistent cash, putting away $1,000 a month in savings or more, that's when you start building your personal brand identity. That's when you start defining your SOI, your farm, your niche, and you've built out your farm and niche to the point where you become the trusted authority in your niche. And it's right around that time where you have enough authority, influence, brand, identity, then to start creating another stream of income or two more streams of income on top of that. So the quiz will be there for all of you. And I also posted it to the Facebook group.
Yeah, and I'm glad you reminded them of that, Artemis, because sometimes it's dangerous. And so I try to play God. I'm not going to do that anymore, but I try to play God and say, oh, they're not ready for this. But the reality is, I don't know what you guys are ready for. What I want to do is open your consciousness to what's available for you, but don't jump the gun. Okay, like Artemis is saying, don't get ahead of yourself. Build upon, work on your own business first and get to where you need to be. Once you're at green level, okay, I think that is or maybe even yellow level is a safe place to where you can start playing around with some of these other concepts. Would you say, Artemis, about yellow?
Especially, I brought up the brand triad just to kind of share with people, and my wife color coded it. So this particular image is really powerful because this is a way in which you start building influence and wealth in your community. First, it's with your personal brand identity, and then it's with your product brand identity, and then your company brand identity. And these are the three brands of the brand triad that take us from 6 figures to 7 figures to 8 figures in wealth and wealth creation. And not everyone, starts with a personal brand identity. Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook, and so he skipped ahead a little bit. But most people, Knolly included, like Knolly, you were the top 7th agent in Remax as Knolly. You were an expert in listings. You became a personal brand identity way before you launched Success for Listings and ClickFunnels. And so,
Absolutely.
for those of you who have not differentiated yourself in the marketplace, for those of you who have not defined your niche and built your brand and built your passion, purpose, and partnerships around that, then you may not be ready to build a product yet. You want to build personal brand. And this is right around orange level on the Wealth Lighthouse. And Roger also gives you very specific actions and steps up the foundation prism, moving from red to orange to yellow, that we all take as real estate agents or as product developers. And so this understanding of the brand triad and where are you on this triad? What have you built? And it may take you 2 to 3 years, up to 5 years to build that niche and that brand identity. And that's where humility comes in. And so some of you, when you look at this multiple stream of income, it sounds flashy and exciting, then also remain humble. When I learned the Wealth Lighthouse last year, I was skipping steps. I was trying to do things out of order. And so I became very humble and slowed down in my personal brand identity to speed up, later on. So some of, as you explore some of this material, it can be very humbling at the same time, and practice humility and do these things that Knolly has done. And then when you get to that bright orange level, you're going to be ready to apply one of the 5 things that Knolly is talking about.
Appreciate that, Artemis. And Pamela was actually asking, I think it's a great question. Can you have multiple brands, real estate, personal development, et cetera? And see, that's when you start getting into blue. That's when you start going even beyond. Actually, green is where you have multiple brands.
Yeah.
Green level. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
it really starts with you branding yourself first, because you know, I'm Artemis. I'm artemisprime.com. If I stop doing real estate, start doing something else, they're just going to follow Artemis. You know, Knolly's Knolly.com. It's been Knolly.com your whole career. And you started as a real estate agent, top agent, and now you're a success coach and trainer and author and speaker. So you can really build your brand around you first, and then you can start creating, you know, like it's fractal, because you start with a flower, and then the flower produces a seed that then plants another flower, then that produces a seed that plants another flower. And so you start with you, and then it begins to fractally grow out into other products and brands. And Roger teaches all of this in our advanced training. That's why we love the Wealth Lighthouse, because it's all in the system. It's all right there.
Yeah, and it's step by step, so you don't have to figure out, okay, what do I do next? So,
Yeah, all the steps are in. If you're at red level, here's how you get to orange. If you're at orange level, here's how you get to yellow. If you're at yellow level, you love your freedom, but you don't want to give up your freedoms, then you have to start duplicating systems and building systems around you so that you're not running your business anymore. Your business, it goes from everybody, you doing many things, to everybody doing one thing. And Knolly's done a beautiful job with that in his listing business, which is why he got so successful with Hollis. It's like you built that system, and the system just duplicated itself. And it's so beautiful. So check out the Wealth Lighthouse. The Millionaire Master Plan is the book. It's also an Audible. And this just answers the question, when?
mm-hmm.
You know, who are you? Where are you? And the where, for some of us watching today, is more important than the who. Where are you on the lighthouse? What do you focus on? And multiple streams of income really come into play when you have established, not built, but established your personal brand identity.
Cool. Well, with that in mind, this has been a stellar call. Hey, I love you guys. Thank you, family, for showing up. You can unmute yourselves, say goodbye. We love you. Till next time. Adios.
Bye.
Thank you, Artemis.
Bye. Thank you, guys. We love y'all. Thank you for all your help.
Knolly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Artemis.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.